Next Friday sees the release of Planxty, Between the Jigs and the Reels. It's a retrospective album and DVD bringing together some of their finest recordings, performances and TV appearances. And I'm delighted to tell us more about it. We're joined on the line now by Andy Irvine. Andy, how are you tonight?
Well, I'm pretty good. Tom, how are you?
I'm very well. You're touring hard at the moment, though.
Yes, I'm over in UK, and I'm a month into the tour, and I've got another week to go, and then I'm about 3 weeks in Germany.
And are you on your own, or are you with people?
Yes, I'm on my own. I do it. That's how I do it.
That sounds...
I sometimes bring my wife, but not on this occasion.
That sounds like a hard road, Andy.
It's a hard road indeed. It's old dog hard road. All
Have
right.
you good things to read back in the hotel?
Well, yes, usually kind of anything with one paragraph will do, because I'm asleep by the time I've finished the first paragraph.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Tell me a bit about the collection. It was put together, from what I can see, it's you, Christy and Donald put it together.
Yes, and Liam.
Liam is involved. Good. He doesn't.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, right. It's the original Planxty, and the recordings are the old recordings, but there's about 2.5 hours, I think, of Planxty on RTE shows on the DVD. So that's the collation of it all. Right.
And how did when you put together a collection like this, does it involve the four of you sitting in a room, like a vision of Tony Soprano and some of his former hitmen?
No. It was done largely by email. I think I suggested the songs, and I think my suggestions were largely taken up as being okay. So I was quite pleased with that.
And I'm just wondering, these are performances going back to when exactly?
1972. The beginning of Planxty.
Wow. All the way up to 1980, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, those gigs in the Abbey Tavern. What's it like for you listening back to that kind of stuff?
Well, it's kind of weird, because it's a long time ago, and when you look at the videos, rather, and listen to the tracks, it's kind of, it's nostalgic, but it's also, God, we were pretty good, like, I mean, sometimes our popularity, we never quite understood that. We never quite understood why we pulled the place down in Galway at the first gig we played. People ask, what exactly was why was it that you became an overnight success, and we all shrug our shoulders and say, "Don't know."
And
we must have been. I think we were the right people playing the right music at the right time, and that was just the stars were in the right constellation.
It seemed to go, though. It seemed to be an appeal that went right across the board. I mean, people like John Peel were fans at the time.
Yeah, well, those were the days when music was not as separated as it is now. I mean, getting younger kids over here in the UK in your audience is kind of like a triumph. You see a young face and you think, hey, look, there's a young person at my gig. It's not the same in Ireland. And that was the reason why we got back together again in 2004, because we realized that young people who weren't even alive when Planxty first started were interested in the band. But it's not quite the same here.
Right. I was at some of those shows. Is it really 2004? God, I would have guessed it was closer than that. Were you surprised by the reaction at them? Because people were blown away still.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not sure I was surprised. I thought, and this is a bizarre remark, I thought we played better than we had done 22 years before, and I couldn't really explain that.